Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. Stevie, Nicol with us here in the studio. We also welcome Ian Darke and Jan Aage Fjortoft. Ian has got new headphones, which somebody told you not to touch them, Ian, or let them fall out because it would hang up the call. How are you dealing with this whole situation?
Badly. I think to me, it's like the International Space Station trying to work these out. The power's gone now, you see, so I'll be better next time.
Oh, right, so they've gone. You've ditched them completely.
Yep, but they'll be back soon.
Meanwhile, Jan is here. Can we take the full shot of Jan? Because I noticed this during the show. It looks like David Beckham is kind of a voyeur in the background, just staring through that Norwegian shirt, looking at you, Jan.
That is Henning Berg. You remember him?
Is that not David Beckham?
Yeah.
And then we have David Beckham as well. This is my son's room.
Why are you moving? I don't know why you're moving like that, Jan.
I just showed the shirt. Sorry
we can
about
see. It's just Beckham there. Beckham looks, the Norwegian V looks like he's got a big blue smile.
Yeah. You Norwegians, we always smile, you know. A great country, a lot of oil and gas. We're okay.
Yes.
Is that Coventry City in the background, Jan?
No, that's the away shirt of the Norwegian team.
Okay.
Right, okay.
You thought it was Brian Kilklein's shirt.
Craig. Craig's not here.
Yeah.
Stevie,
him, yeah.
are Scotland the top dark horses in this year's Euros?
Why? They can't laugh.
So, can you tell me, what is the definition of a dark horse?
So that's someone
team that actually might win it?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
they're not a dark horse.
No chance.
Not a
What's
chance.
success for Scotland? Scoring a goal?
Winning a game. If they win a game,
Right.
that's a start.
That's a success.
I mean, unbelievable success would be qualifying
right.
through the group.
Yeah.
But that's unlikely. But
Okay.
we'll just a win. Get a win.
Get a win. Jan, why is there no talk about Bielsa for a top job like Juve, Real Madrid or Spurs? Like the Spurs are with Real Madrid and Juve, as he doesn't have a contract next season.
Well, I don't think they dare to speak to him. I mean, imagine they go up there and they ask him the wrong question. But I think that he's very happy that he just takes job. It's not people come to him and ask for job. He will ask for the jobs he wants. And if you see some of the club, I mean, Juve, I mean, what a appointment that was. I was big fan of Pirlo. But you can't have a coach for a big team like Juve. You've been coached for 3 days in the under-21 team. And I mean, if people say that, I got 100 tweets and they say, Pirlo is this and Pirlo is that. No. You're looking for big managers for big clubs. And don't come with the Guardiola kind of thing that he was at Barcelona. That was not the same, not even close.
Just try and put in context how popular Bielsa is in Leeds, Ian.
Oh, he's a messiah. Nothing short of a messiah in Leeds. You know, he has charmed not only Leeds and Yorkshire, the area where Leeds is, but he's charmed the whole of England without really speaking a word of English, for which he very charmingly apologised the other day. I just think he's been great, and his team have been a breath of fresh air.
You got to wonder though, right? The way he plays the game.
Yeah.
If he goes to a Juve or one of the big teams, are those players going to accept the way he wants to play week in and week out? It's okay with the national team where they just met up for 3 or 4 days at a time and they could go all guns blazing every time they had an international, and then they go back to the club team. But if you get like a Man City, a squad like Man City, are you going to be able to have them doing that time after time? And in the same way that we complained about Mourinho, are the Spurs players going to want to be defending week after week, and eventually they'd had enough? Could be the same.
You'd been good under Bielsa, wouldn't it? You would just go all day.
Yeah, but you can't have 11 runners.
Right.
You need different.
No,
the best teams have different types of players, and if you've got 11 runners, then you can have Bielsa as your manager all day because they'll just keep running, and eventually you'll get somebody else in who can run as well. But
I think it's a very,
it's
a very valid point, Dan, that Steve is making there, because sometimes you see the so-called clever coaches when they come to a club with their philosophy, with their way of playing and everything. But the most important thing you do as a new manager at the club, you're talking about Nagelsmann coming to Bayern Munich, for example. You have to win the dressing room. We are talking a lot about losing the dressing room, but you also have to win the dressing room. And you can't be too clever the first 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Because sometimes they say we footballers are stupid. They say that about some footballers. But there is one thing that footballers are very clever at, is that to see when a coach is don't have the credibility that he's playing a game. So you have to win and build a platform before you start with all that kind of philosophy and different systems. You have to be a leader.
Jan, did you have an agent during your playing days, or did you do negotiations yourself like Kevin De Bruyne? Which way is better?
Yes, I never had an agent. I didn't do that because I felt I didn't need it. But when it came to negotiations, I was a part of that. But when I was in England, I used the PFA. They had good skills. Des Bremner, remember him from Aston Villa, was working for PFA. He helped me out. He helped me out a lot of times. When I came to Germany, to Eintracht Frankfurt, I kind of was negotiating the package, so to say. And when we kind of agreed on a package, I used a German lawyer. So I went through my career without the agent, and I think that did me well because it kind of shaped me, developed me also as a human being, and those kind of things that sometimes you have to do alone.
Stevie, you had an agent, yeah?
Yeah, I had an agent, so I never developed as a human being.
My favourite story of all of that, my favourite story is the Northern Ireland manager who was asked by a player making his debut, what's the situation about win bonuses, boss? He said, well, the situation's pretty clear. We never win, so there are no win bonuses.
What percent would your agent get? Do you remember? I'm sure you remember.
10%?
10%. Was that kind of standard?
Yeah, I thought that was all right, aye.
Ian, was there ever...
By the way, now let me tell you why. So the reason why I think that is okay is because the way I figured, if I was doing it myself,
yeah,
I would end up getting less than he would get for me.
Yes.
So the 10% actually paid for itself.
Yeah, Stevie,
and I still ended up with more.
I love the way you justify that in your head, giving somebody 10%. So 30 years later.
Well, no, it's because I remember thinking, hold on a minute, why am I going to give somebody 10%?
Steve,
and then I thought about it, and I thought, well, the truth is, he's actually going to get more, and it's going to be more than the 10%
yes.
that I would have got for myself.
Good, but there was a lot of internal dialogue going on about that.
Yeah, he just developed as a human being, Dan.
Yeah, that development is there, yes.
Never too late to start.
I noticed nobody's asking Dan about his contract and who negotiates it.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So you can have this or leave. I was all right, who else is going to take me? Ian, was there ever an odd course of events happening in a football match that as a commentator you really couldn't explain to an audience?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, well, loads this season with all those lines.
The
microscopic offside decisions. I think once or twice this season, I've just said on the commentary, look, we've all stopped trying to understand how this works. We'll just wait for the outcome, whatever it may be. I think they need to have a proper sit down with the whole VAR thing. It's here to stay, but it does need modifying and clarifying.
Ian, what did you say in '66 when Jeff Hurst scored that goal?
It was clearly over the line, Jan. Way over the line. That's why he turned away. You're a striker, Jan. You know he turned.
They think it's all over.
Turns away from it and starts celebrating. 2 feet over the line.
Jan, what was with the many coaching change announcement for next year in the Bundesliga this past year? As a Frankfurt fan, I was disgusted to see them miss out on a Champions League place shortly after Hutter's announcement to leave for Gladbach. It's clear it had an effect on the players.
Whew. Well, I think it's a very good question, but because what happened in Germany this season was not good. I mean, you have these clauses, fair enough that you have them, but the announcement, you saw them, with Marco Rose in Gladbach was leading the project of Gladbach. You had Nagelsmann at Leipzig. When that turned into him being a Bayern manager, he went down for them. And Adi Hütter as well in Gladbach. And at that time, they were on a Champions League position. I'm doing a lot of interviews for Frankfurt journalists at the moment, how much that affected them. But it's clear when you have a coach that is leading the project they said yes to, then first Bobic is leaving, fair, he's been there for many years, going back to Berlin, you want to build up something there. Then Adi Hütter leaves for a club way beyond on the table. Of course that affected the players. I mean, the players could say that didn't affect them. Of course it did, and I don't like that. But I'm not sure how it's going to be regulated, because if everybody knows the secret, so to say, you could wait till the summer and they don't get a new manager. But I think that at the end that cost Frankfurt the Champions League position. Having said that, without Adi Hütter they will never be in a position and blah 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 blah. But still, it's not a good thing that happened in the middle of the season.
We've got so many more questions, but this has gone on forever. Final question. Stevie, how do you feel about Diaz winning Football Writers Player of the Year, since you were the last defender to win it in 1989?
Ooh.
Your crown has been taken.
Not at all.
How does it affect you as a human being?
I don't know. I haven't made that step yet. No, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think he deserves it. And I'm glad to see that. You know, in today's game, it always seems to be about attack and going forward, and I'm always complaining about how so many defenders, and particularly in the Premier League and the top leagues, they can't defend. And so for a guy as a defender to win that award, number one, tells you how good he is, and as far as me being a defender,
yeah,
I'm glad to be in the same club as him.
What do you think he pays his agent?
I'd say it'd be more than 10%.
You think so? But I think he could make more than the 10% that he was going to get.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen to him. He's going to be using that the next time he goes for a contract. Yeah. He'll be like that. Oh,
what's an agent can do with me?
He'll be coming up to me and going, "Oh, Stevie, I'm so glad the advice you gave me to get an agent and get an extra 10%, because I wouldn't have got that, and so that 10% is negated by, oh, thank you, Stevie." Negated as well.
What?
Yeah, I'll send you the meaning later.
Big words. All right, guys, thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Of course, the last weekend of action across Europe. As always, you can join us tomorrow. We'll be reflecting on that final day of the season in La Liga. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.